Hello everyone. I hope that you have a fantastic day, and I want to talk to each one of you today. And actually, I want to have a kind of a serious talk about laundry soap. Yes, because they're not all created equal. So I thought that I would go over just some of the facts that I have been investigating for the last few weeks, and we'll be able to figure out what is the best laundry detergent for our needs. So anyways, I'll talk to you all in just a little while. It's quite a bit of information, and so what I needed to do was to give myself some notes. So if you see me reading, that is basically because I'm referring back to my notes. And the first thing I kind of wanted to discuss is, why should I make my own laundry detergent? I mean, what is the purpose? If you are here and you are watching this particular vlog of mine, then most likely you're either really dedicated to me, or you make your own laundry detergent and you want to know the facts. And honestly, commercial laundry detergents are not required to show ingredients on their labels, and surprisingly, over 80% of the chemicals that are within those detergents have never been tested. Those are the facts. And what is tested by them. There is no peer review testing going on. And the fragrances that you'll often see, in fact, you'll always see, it'll say "and fragrances" on the ingredient list. And these, most of them are linked to known carcinogens, and they're known to cause skin irritations. Another thing that is in laundry detergents is what is known as optical brighteners. And these are components that are put into detergents, and they are used to make your clothes look whiter and brighter. And they are actually just another layer of harmful chemicals, because they don't actually whiten or brighten your clothes. What it is that they are leaving molecules on the fabric that reflect ultraviolet light and create the illusion that the colors are brighter and the whites are whiter. It's not actually making them whiter. And in Canada and many of the European Union, they've banned these types of things in all of their detergents. The second reason is that I want to point out why it's so important to be concerned about chemicals is that your skin is the largest organ in your body. It's 22 square feet on average, and 60% of the substances that you put on your skin will be eventually absorbed into your bloodstream. And this is how we absorb vitamins like vitamin D and minerals, but unfortunately, it also absorbs the chemicals that we put on it. I remember having the mindset before I started learning all this stuff that my skin was like a barrier to protect me. But the truth be told, not in that way. It is also, that's why there's pores. It allows things to go through that skin barrier. And what we need to watch out for are fragrances, parabens, sulfates, and what is known as triclosan, which has just been banned recently by the FDA, but it does not have to be eliminated out of our detergents and products that we purchase until next month. And then that's just that they have to stop putting it in their products. The products that they have already produced, they don't have to recall them and get rid of them. I mean, they're still going to sell them, and that is still in there. So these are some of the things that we have to be careful with. And Many of the companies, they've replaced the triclosan with other chemicals, but guess what? Those chemicals haven't been tested because they have over a year to be able to go to the FDA and prove that those chemicals are safe. So if they did substitute them, they're substituting them with other chemicals that we still don't know much about. So that's just some of the facts that I wanted to get out there. And so I thought I would explain to you why I changed my formula. One of the first things that I want to say is I will not be using Fels Naphtha or Zote soap. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that just love both of those. I loved Fels Naphtha. It got the grease out of my husband's clothes like magic. But Fels Naphtha contains 17 ingredients, one which is titanium dioxide, which is known to contaminate our oceans, our lakes. It's harmful to the wildlife and is a known carcinogen. It also contains fragrance. Fragrance means chemicals. We have no idea what those chemicals are because, thanks to our wonderful laws, they do not need to disclose that. The other one is Zote soap, which contains an optical brightener. And an optical brightener, you know, hey, it can make our clothes look clean and bright and whiter, but it is only an illusion due to chemicals. So I just don't want to add another layer of chemicals where it could be harmful. So that's why I'm not using either of those products. Plus, Zote soap also contains fragrance, which is a chemical. Even if it is they tell you what it is the smell of. If it's not an essential oil, it's a chemical. So that's why I will not be using those. And what I am going to be using instead is Dr. Bronner's Pure Castile soap, and I chose the one with the essential oil of tea tree because tea tree is a known antibacterial, and so I just figured that would be really good for the laundry, especially my husband's clothes. But this particular soap is expensive. This costs approximately $4 a bar. Yeah, you can buy it in bulk a little cheaper at Amazon, but it still adds up to be quite pricey. That's why I'm only using 3 of those bars. The other one that I'm going to be using is Kirk's because this is like 3 bars for under $4. So yeah, that's why. And both of these soaps are pure soaps with nothing else in there. And then what I wanted to move on to, what I will be using, and I still will be using, and I know that there's some controversy with this one out there too, and that is borax. Yeah, unfortunately, borax has kind of getting a bad rap, and I understand that, but on a whole, this does not cause cancer. It cannot accumulate in the body. It cannot be absorbed through the skin, and it's not harmful to the environment. In fact, the largest mine in the world is found in Boron, California, and it's considered by many to be one of the most ecologically sound and environmentally sustainable mines in the United States. And you know, that's why I'm really going to still use this, because it works in the laundry. It really does help to get your clothes cleaner. And so, you know, it is what it is. If you choose not to use it, that's fine too. I will give a word of caution though. I would never put this into a detergent that I'm going to use for a child's diapers or a baby's clothes or something like that, because it is or has been known to irritate very sensitive skin, and babies and young toddlers have very sensitive skins. So after I got done looking into all this, I think that's probably what the problem is that it can be a skin irritant, but it's not a carcinogen. So I'm going to choose to use it because there's a lot of benefits to help getting your clothes cleaner. And the other thing that I'm going to still be using is my washing soda and my baking soda. Now, you got to understand, there's even places out there on the internet that you can see where you shouldn't use washing soda. People, all washing soda is baking soda that's been heated and it becomes washing soda. So that's just doesn't make any sense to me. And the reason why there's some people that think that the baking soda is an unnecessary ingredient, but I still think that if you are doing especially adult clothes where you're sweating, you're getting dirty, okay, you're probably still going to want to use your baking soda, because baking soda actually helps whiten and brighten your clothes also. And it is very, very good to put in with cloth diapers. And it also helps eliminate odors. So I still will use my baking soda. It's not an expensive product. Why would I eliminate it? So those are what I'm going to be using, is the Castile soaps, the washing soda, the baking soda, and the borax. And I will give you a recipe, if you don't want to use borax, that you can use kosher coarse salt. Ooh, my tongue didn't want to work there. And citric acid instead. So I will give you that recipe. And anyways, I think we're going to start making this. Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to grate up your bars of soap. And I have this little grater here, and then one of these actually work the best. They're very quick. And since I don't have a food processor, that is what we use. And actually my husband was nice enough to do this morning. This took him maybe 15-20 minutes to do the 6 bars of soap. I want to show you what you need to do, because this is still too big to be able to dissolve well in your washing machine. So what you do is you take some of your soap with your super washing soda and put it in your food processor, and this is how little then it comes out, where all of it is just like a powder. And that's what you need to get to. You need to grind it into a smaller grain so that it can be mixed well and it's not big. Like this reminds me of coconut. And you don't want it to be like that. You want this to look just like powder. Now, with that in mind, and I don't have a food processor, because if you do have a food processor, you can get this done really quickly. But I only have this little tiny chopper type thing, and so yeah, it takes me a little bit of time, because what I do is I just put some washing soda in the bottom, and then I just kind of scoop some of this up and put it into here. And then I just chop it on up. And I just continue this process until it's completed. So when I am done doing all that, since I only have that tiny little thing, I will show you what it looks like, and we'll add the rest of the things. Well, I have all of my grated soap that I put through my mini food processor with some of the washing soda, and so now it's a nice powder. And this is just the 6 bars of soap with just about a whole box of washing soda that it took for me to be able to process all that in my little food processor, since I don't have a big one. But I wanted to read you the recipe because I realized that, yeah, I didn't read you my recipe. But anyways, it's 6 bars of grated Castile soap, which ends up to be about 8 cups of grated soap. 2 boxes of washing soda, which is about 13 cups total. 1 box of borax, because I'm cutting my borax in half. A lot of what I've read, you don't need to have equal amounts of washing soda and borax. And 1 box of baking soda minus 2 cups, because there is 8 cups of baking soda in the 4-pound box, and we only need 6 cups. Anyways, I wanted to give you that recipe for an alternative to borax, and that is for you to be able to use for diapers and children's clothes. And it's 1 bar of your castile soap, 1 cup of washing soda, a 1/2 cup of baking soda, a 1/2 cup of citric acid, yeah, the type that you get in the pickling area, but you can also buy this bigger and, you know, bulk type of packages through Amazon, and a 1/2 cup of kosher coarse sea salt. And that will be a very good, safe detergent for you to use for your little ones. But do not use Epsom salts. There is a lot of recipes out there espousing to use Epsom salts. And I just wanted to tell you that I looked into it, and that using Epsom salts actually makes your water harder because of the minerals that are in Epsom salts. And I even read where lots of aquariums will use Epsom salts to harden their soft water. So that's the last thing you want to do, because if you have really hard water, even a little bit of hard water, no matter what, it makes it so that you can, the soap just doesn't work as well, let's put it that way. It's just not going to clean your clothes as well. So anyways, don't use the Epsom salts, but you can use the kosher sea salt. Coarse sea salt is what everyone recommended. Anyways, so yeah, I'm just going to finish this up. All I have to do is just dump my boxes into my bin here and give it a bit of a stir, which can be a lot because I make a lot. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this. I know that this was a lot of information. I know that this was a long video, but I do want to say that I wasn't able to tell you all the information I had. So I have a blog, and it is linked on my page, so you will be able to go to that blog, and I will have all of the information on the whys and the whatnots of this particular recipe that I chose, and the other recipe for the little ones' diapers and clothes, or if you have sensitive skin. So I'll talk to you in just a little bit. Today's devotion came in part from CBN's Spiritual Life, and the verse that I would like to read is found in 1 John chapter 1 verse 9. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us of our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. You know, no matter how dirty we are, no matter what kind of filth we've gotten ourselves into, or how long it has been since the last time we bathed, when we get in the shower, we can get completely clean. A bar of soap and ta-da! We're clean again, as clean as we ever were. And you know what? We are not obsessed about how dirty we once were. We don't rush from mirror to mirror to mirror, making sure that the cleansing succeeded. And we can be clean spiritually too. God promises to make us completely clean on the inside. Psalms 51:7 says, "Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow." When we ask God to make us clean, he does. It doesn't matter what we've done. God's cleansing is thorough. We don't always feel clean, though. Often we remember what we've done and we feel guilty. So that feeling of shame and guilt often can keep us from believing that our sins are gone. Sometimes we start to think of things or ways that we can make it up to God for the things that we've done wrong. Our guilt can sometimes keep us from coming before the throne of God to even ask for forgiveness. But God's cleansing is thorough. As our verse today tells us, 1 John 1:9, if we confess our sins, He is faithful and just to forgive our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. All is what it says. It doesn't say some. It doesn't say certain sins. It doesn't say except for the below mentioned actions. Even if others have not forgiven us, even if we haven't forgiven ourselves, even if we are still living with the consequences of what we have done, God's forgiveness is thorough. Jesus Christ and His death on the cross paid the whole price for our sin. Because of Him, we can be completely clean on the inside. And with that, I want to remind you, life happens. Let's enjoy it. And remember, all we need to do is to tell God we're sorry for what we have done and ask Him to forgive us, because He is waiting to make us clean once again. That is what the blood of Christ does for all of us. God bless, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.